I want to try something with a couple of people, but before I do, I have to tell you, I'm dyslexic. I know, a dyslexic mentalist, it's really a bad thing. But I use all kinds of different systems to help me function. And so most people would never guess that I can't remember names, I can't remember numbers, because I can remember them by using different systems. I have a deck of cards here. I'm going to hand this out to a few people, but I think let's go with, if you'll take these, since you're in the front. Can you put your glass down? You're going to need your hands as well. So if you'll take these and cut about half of those off, and I'd like you to do the same thing. Take those, cut about half of those off and give them to the lady there, give those to the lady there. Good, good. Now I'd like you to each to mix your little packets, if you would, for me. Mix them really well. And then I want you to hand your packet when you're done to her, and you're going to mix his packet in with yours, and you're going to mix that packet into that packet. So just hand her your packet, if you will, and just give them a really good mix for me. Good. These are mixed? You mixed them well? All right, so you shuffled yours, you shuffled hers, and yeah, you put them all in there. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Did you mix them all together? And look at them, make sure they're mixed up well. I'll take those from you. Excellent. So 4 people took 4 packets of cards, you mixed them together, and then you mix those 4 packets together to make 2 packets, all right? And so now what I want to do is I'm going to ask you to come up here if you would for me, please. And I'm also going to ask you to come up here if you would for me, please. Okay. I'm going to give you this packet of cards for right now. Just hold on to them. So I think that's about half. And if you'll step over on this side, I'm going to give you this packet of cards as well. As I speak, I want you to go through your packet. I want you to separate it into different suits, okay? So don't let me see the cards, whatever you do. So you might want to move back just a little bit. And then if you get even more time, what I'd like you to do is separate them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, or whatever cards you actually have. So it'll make it easy for you to locate those cards. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this packet right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, is there anybody here that has a cell phone that has a stopwatch on it? Anybody? A time that you do? Do you have your cell phone on you? Would you take that out for me, please? And I'd like you to go to the stopwatch because you are going to time me in just a second. So let me know once you're there. So what you're going to do is you're going to time me, and every 5 seconds you're going to say 5, 10, 15, 20. And what I'm going to try to do is memorize these cards, all right? So go ahead and just go ahead and tell me when to go.
All right, start. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Stop. Take those for me, please. Okay. And would you sort those out into suits and hold it up so that I can't see them anymore? And then if you get a chance, put them in numerical order, but do the numerical after you do the suits, if you would, for me. So as I said, I use different systems. In a deck of cards, what I would simply do is I would take, say, let's say we're going to go with the aces. Aces are 1s, all right? So I think of 1 as being a gun. To me, 1 rhymes with gun. So if I was going to go with the ace of hearts, I would imagine that I'm actually shooting myself in the heart and blood is spurting out all over the place. If it's an ace of diamonds, I might imagine I'm holding the gun, but I can't get a really good grip on that gun because the diamonds are very, very sharp. They're cutting into my hands. The more dramatic I can make it, the better. Maybe the gun is a murder weapon. I'm taking a spade and burying it, so that would be the ace of spades, all right? And the ace of clubs, maybe I'm taking it and I'm firing it, and there's a club, a golf club coming out, and it's hitting my enemy in the head. Could be a politician I don't like. It could be an ex-wife. It could be any of those things, all right? But something that's really dramatic for me. If it's a 2, then I think 2 rhymes with shoe, right? So 2 rhymes with shoe. So what I do is I imagine that the shoe has a big heart on it, okay, a big bow on it. Maybe if it's to a diamonds, then I think of the Paul Simon song, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes, where she's walking, but I imagine there's a trail of diamonds coming out from her shoes as she's walking along. 3 is a tree, 4 is the floor in my living room or my kitchen, 5 is diving into something or off something, 6 is sticks, 7 is heaven, 8 is gate, 9 is a mine exploding, 10 is a wren, a little brown bird, a little wren, okay? Now, when it gets into 11, which would be the jack or the queens or the kings, 12 and 13, it gets a little more complicated. There's a system that I use which is called the mnemonic alphabet. I'm not going to go into it right here. If you want to do that, you can go to Banachek.com or BanachekProducts.com, and you could download the memory system, all right? And that'll teach you all about those. But just so you know, 11 becomes tit, yes, abreast, I know, but that actually helps me because the more visual it is, the more absurd it is, the better, all right? And 12 becomes a tine, like a tine on a fork, and 13 becomes time. Are you good? Good. So step back this way, just behind me, just a little bit. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. I only memorized half the deck, right? But the thing is, if I know what's in that half, I should know what's in that half. Because I didn't make an association for this half. All I did was made an X. I didn't try to memorize them in order. That would have been a lot easier because I can associate each card with the next card. So what I'm going to be doing is even more difficult. I hope this works. Do me a favor. Would you call out any one of the suits?
Let's do clubs.
Clubs. So take a look and spread out the clubs so you can see those. And if I call out your card, I want you to drop it so it goes to the floor. Clubs. Clubs was a fairly easy one. I believe you have the ace. Take it out, please. Throw it to the floor. You have the 2. You have the 3. You also have the 4. I didn't see the 4. I did see the 5. Oops, you threw 2 out. So I also saw the 6. I saw the 7. And I saw the 8. Did not see the 9. You have the 9. You have the 10. You have the jack. You have the queen. Didn't see it. And I didn't see the king. Yes. All right. Good. Thank you. Call out a suit. Hearts. Going to go a little bit quicker. Be careful with the flourishes because I want you to throw more than one card out, okay? So let's go with hearts, all right? So I believe you have the ace, you have the 2, you have the 3, you have the 4, the 5, also the 6. You had the 7. I think you had the 8 and the 9. I believe that you had the 10, the jack, the queen, and you had the king. What do we have left? We have spades and diamonds left, all right? So call out a suit.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. I think you had the ace and the 2.
Yep.
I believe you had the 3. You had the 4. You also had the 5. Yes. Okay, so you had the 6. You had the 7 and the 8. You had the 9. The 10. You had the jack. Mm-hmm. You had the queen. I believe you had the king.
Yep.
All right. One suit left. So we have spades left?
Yep.
All right, so spread those out. Let's go and see how quick we can go, okay? I believe that you have the ace, the 2, the 3. You have the 4. You have the 5, the 6. You have the 7, the 8. You have the 9, 10, jack. You have the queen.
Yep.
And you have the king. And,
oh,
wait, you have one left? Got to be a joker.
It's joker.
Give him a round of applause. Thank you very, very much. Give them both a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
So my favorite trick that you performed in that short set, I think I'm about to learn it, which I'm pretty excited about because I thought theatrically this was fantastic.
Great, because I didn't create the original one of this version of this, and it's your favorite trick.
I thought it was really, really fantastic. I'm sorry, it's not my fault that you didn't create this trick.
By the way, if you don't know, Tides is my manager. He's always great at promoting me and my ideas, and yeah.
I'm the one who gave him his hair. It was mine. Anyways, go on.
You know, people are going to think that we hate each other when in reality we love each other. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll see we love each other.
My best friend.
It's how we act. No, I wouldn't go that far.
That you're my best friend?
No, you're my best friend.
I'm not saying I'm your best friend.
You're
saying you're mine.
You are my best friend. So, yeah, yes. So the memory thing, I'm assuming that's what you're speaking about, right?
Yeah, it was an
What was the trick? Because I
amazing-
don't remember.
Yeah, you know, great. This is going to be a good explanation.
I have the worst memory, the worst. So I use mnemonics. Mnemonics are basically memory systems, right? So the whole premise of this entire effect is that I'm using memory systems, right? And I even gave examples of like if it's Ace of Hearts, you know, how do I think of that? I think of that as a one. One goes with gun, and that is a mnemonic system. That's the rhyming system, right?
Yeah,
One
yeah,
is
yeah.
gun, two is shoot, three is tree, four is four,
Mnemonics
five.
is just the art of memorizing.
Yeah.
And you have a whole memory course.
There's a phonetic alphabet, you know, which is one is T and two is N, three is M because of the lines coming down and so forth, right? So, but anyway, so it's done under the guise of that, and I'm pretty sure that was even with the Fantini Gene Grant version that I knew of, right? A lot of people associate this with Cassidy, Robert Cassidy, Bob Cassidy, who's no longer with us, who was a brilliant, brilliant thinker. But Bob didn't think this up either. It goes much further beyond him. Before him, actually, the one I think that was right before that was a George Sands thing, and that used a stripper deck. And a stripper deck is where you can strip certain cards out because they're cut differently, right?
You can separate the cards.
Yeah. What Bob Cassidy did was he took the basic effect, but his idea of memorizing cards and his memory system was he created different phone numbers.
Well, why don't we do the trick and then go into the
Yeah,
variations?
yeah.
Because
So-
I think it might get confusing.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I just want to give a little of the history on it, is what I want to do. And that gives you sort of the background on this thing before we actually get into it. So basically, and it's true, if I know what's in one half of a deck, I should know what's in the other half of the deck, right?
Sure.
And that's exactly
It's a complete deck.
how it works if it's a complete deck, but you definitely want to use a complete deck. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you the setup,
Okay.
and then we'll bring it back to the actual effect itself,
Okay.
right? Because it makes more sense. My idea is much, much simpler than Bob Cassidy's of memorizing phone numbers or actually memorizing half of a deck, right? The way it works is really, really simple, but it's disguised by having them call out different suits because it will change. So what I want you to think of it like this. The only thing there's two things you have to really remember, that's all, right? In order to do this trick. You have to remember hearts, diamonds, spades, clubs. That order. Hearts is 1, diamonds is 2, spades is 3, clubs is 4.
Okay.
That's the hardest thing to remember in this. Once you remember that, the rest is really easy. Clubs is going to be treated different than any of the other suits, right? You also have to, and I'll get back to that, you have to remember that red always starts on your right side, black cards start on your left side.
Okay.
You could now do the trick.
All right.
Because
I
here-
really can't.
no,
So
you,
like if
you absolutely can.
I'm ready to try,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
don't know the
you,
procedure at all.
You do. You just don't know you know it, right? So with everything that I've just said, all right, hearts,
diamonds, spades, clubs.
okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, numerical values, give them that, right? Right? Red start on which side?
Am I right?
Black starts on which side?
Left.
All right. So to start out with hearts, because it's going to be the first suit, right? May not be when they call, but in your head it's the first suit, right? The person on your right is going to have one card, and they're going to have the ace of hearts.
Okay.
Person on your left is going to have the next 2 cards, the 2 and the 3. Person on your right will have the next 3 cards, right? 4, 5, 6. Now you go back to 1 again, 2, 3.
What about 4?
There is no 4.
Okay.
Right? There is no 4 at that point because you're dealing with hearts. It's the
Okay.
first one. So it's the sequence is in any of the cards except for clubs, any of the cards, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You're never going to get that far up. The last person's going to either have 1 card or 2 cards, which will break the sequence up so people won't know. So let's say we're working with hearts. You can actually do it right now yourself, right? So we're starting with hearts. It's the first one.
So hearts. So it's ace of hearts, 2 and 3 of hearts, 4, 5, and 6 of hearts, and then 7 of hearts, 8 and 9 of hearts. I can't believe I didn't see this. I didn't spot this.
Yeah.
8, 9 of hearts, 10, jack, queen, king.
King. And that last one breaks it up a little bit, right?
I can't believe I didn't spot that at
So
all.
diamonds is the second one, right? So you're going to start with the first 2 cards on this side.
Okay.
Okay, so do diamonds.
So ace, 2 of diamonds, 3, 4, and 5 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, 7 and 8 of diamonds, 9, 10, jack of diamonds, queen of diamonds, king of diamonds. Wow.
Queen, king.
Queen king?
No, queen, king. That's right. Yeah, king. You had it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right. Spades starts on the opposite side. So start with me.
Yeah, because
Third suit. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And so are we on 3 now?
You're on 3 now.
But does that king count as one?
No,
of the three
every
suits?
suit is done.
It's
You're
a
done with the
brand
suit.
new.
Brand new one. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So it would be ace, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you said clubs is different.
Clubs is different, right? So clubs is 4, 4, and then you go in the sequence
Clubs is 4, 4, and then I go. No, why?
to break it up,
Oh, okay.
right? And you only need one to break up because they're going to call the suits out of sequence anyway,
Okay.
right? So go ahead and do clubs.
So ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I go into normal sequence. 9, 10, jack, queen, king.
Yeah. So 2, 2,
Wow.
right? So if I say to you, name a suit, let me name a suit for you, okay? So spades.
You want me to just
Yeah,
jump into
yeah,
spades?
yeah.
So it's
No.
Oh, spades this side.
Black card.
Oh, and it's the third. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So,
Yeah.
easy, right?
Well, now the question is, how do you get the cards in this sequence?
All right, so
do it.
the cards are already in sequence
That
here.
does make sense
The
to me.
cards are in sequence, right? The top half is the person on the right side. Bottom half is person on the left side, right? I have, if I riffle through there, I can actually feel it as I go through there. I have a joker that has corners that have been trimmed. So as I riffle through the deck, I can feel right where that half deck is, right? So go ahead, take it, and just riffle through that top corner right there.
So for people on camera, a trimmed corner might be a little hard to see,
Yeah.
but it's rounded.
Yeah.
It's a rounded corner where they're trimming off the edges, and it looks like you did it on all 4. So you
Yeah,
can,
not very good. Yeah, not very good. You can do it on one side, you do it all 4, or you can just shorten the card.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So basically, when I'm going through here, I get a really natural.
You know exactly where, and you can
Right.
even look and see that you've got it.
Yeah, see that
because
I
it's a
got
joker, right?
Yeah, there's nothing to see
You could
there.
use a different card if you wanted to make it the last card of the sequence, but I like having the joker, and there's a reason for that because then when I'm done, the person is still holding one card. Oh, well, that must be a joke. That's the joker. I saw the joker, right? So now I got half and half.
Yeah.
And this is a part that goes way back, right? Where you break the card in half. I don't know what the original method for finding the half, but you get the half, all right? So I go out, I got that. This goes to one person on that side, goes to one person. Cut your cards in half, give them half, cut in half, give half. Shuffle all your cards, doesn't make any difference, right? So shuffle your cards with his cards, shuffle your cards with his cards. So basically, 4 people have shuffled cards. Those 2 have been shuffled together. I come over, I get this section right here, and all I have to do before I go get that section is riffle down and find that joker again, right? So I find I didn't even get it that time, but it doesn't matter, you get the joker. And if you can't find it, you can always go like this and go through the deck and actually find the joker itself, and I did that for showing the thing. I go through there, yeah, they're pretty well mixed, and just cut it to the joker, so the joker's there. I take this half over here. Those come together, and you can do a false shuffle. The one that I did was really simple because no emphasis is on these. I take both of these, I shuffle them together like this on the knee, and I'll try to do it on the table for you, all right? But normally I would do it on my knees. So these all come together like that. It's so much harder to do it on the table. But I grab both halves, and I just pull it back out, and I put the bottom half back on the top half. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and that's
mean,
it.
the whole
And then,
point of that,
then
though,
a couple false cuts like that. It
You're
makes
doing
no,
that with no heat on.
difference. And now I just go through again, and I'm finding the joker. Give this person half, but I don't give this person this half yet. I give this person half. I say, I go through the deck. I want you to sort it out into suits, and I want you to then put it in numerical order if you have time, right? Now I come over here and I say, who has a cell phone? I want you to time me. I go through, and sometimes I'll come back as if I'm looking and going through it. And I always take more time than what I would. I always act like, oh, my fastest time was like 15 seconds, took me 22 seconds, but I think I might have done it, right? So now I give this person this half, and I say, I want you to go through there, I want you to put it in suits and then put it in numerical order. I want to give them time to sort it out because I want to make it easy for them later on. That's when I start teaching the audience about exactly the sequence that I went through to memorize those cards. 1 is gun, 2 is shoe, and so forth. And now I turn, are you done? Don't let me see the cards. Are you done? Step back a little behind me, all right? I'm going to call out cards. If I point to you, I just want you to pull that card out. What suit would you like to start with?
And you're ready. I mean,
Name a suit.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. All right, you do it. Pretend that's yeah.
So diamonds is going to be 1, 2, and yeah, we
You've got
did
it.
the sequence.
You've got it. So yeah, and they're pulling cards. They're throwing them out on the ground. You'll be left with a joker in the end. Oh, one card left. I saw a joker. Now here's the interesting thing, right? I hide the sequence a little bit because let's say name a suit.
Spades.
Spades. So I would go. All right. So I didn't see the ace. Oh, I also didn't see the 2 or the 3. I break it up. I don't just say you have the ace 2 or 3. I break it up. So the sequence also doesn't seem as, because I'll go, I didn't see the ace. I believe you have the ace, and you have, no, wait. I didn't see the 2. I didn't see the 3. I believe I did see the 4. Oh, the 5 is over here. 6 is, so I'll do that a little bit. So it's not just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. You want to break it up in your rhythm a little bit, and then the last one you can do really, really fast, like bam, 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 bam.
The thing about this, so a couple things. One was the sequencing within the routine. Really, all I remembered from it after it was done, was he definitely had a shuffling. The audience 100%
Right.
shuffled it, and then he knew everything of the deck. He knew where everything was.
Yeah.
So those are the two really big takeaways I get. Well, the other thing that's really cool about this effect is there's not very many things that involve cards that really produce a round of applause.
Right.
And this does. It has
Yep.
it has these beats in there where it feels uncomfortable if you're in the audience and you don't applaud. 'cause
And
it
it's
just
very
seems
flashy.
incredible.
It's very flashy. It's almost like a card manip act without manipulating cards, right?
It
You're
plays
just
huge.
you're sort of manipulating cards with your mind. Is
Yeah.
is the way to think of it, right?
It plays really, really big.
Yeah.
I loved this.
This is a closer for most acts, right?
Yeah.
Mine is not, because I have something even stronger that I use. But for most people, this would be a closing piece, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is really great.